Good morning, everybody. Why don't you stand with us? Sing along if you know the song. I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. A man's empty praise and treasures that fade are never enough. Come on, let's sing it out together. Here we go. You came along. Now every desire here in your love. Oh, come on, let's raise it up this morning. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Do you believe that this morning? Oh, let's sing it out. Now I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws, Lord. Seen them all, and you still call me friend. Because the God of the mountain is the God of the valley, and there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again and again and again. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing is better than you. All right, let's all lift our voices and sing this out. You turn mourning to dancing. Come on. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who well, good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Hey, who's getting baptized this morning? Where are you? We're all up. Oh, you're spread out. Hey, if you are not getting baptized and you still want to, there is still time. You can jump in, clothes and all. We will take it. But hey, this morning, we're so glad that you're here. Turn to your neighbor and say, it's good to see you. We're going to continue worship here with one more song.
I was buried beneath my shame, and who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. All right, let's sing this out. And I was breathing, but not alive. Hey! 'Cause all my failures I tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you.
Come on, raise it up.
You called my name, then I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name, then I ran out of that grave. Oh, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Come on, sing with me. Now your mercy has saved my soul. Now your freedom is all that I know. Come on, the old man knew. Oh, Jesus, when I met you, yeah, you called my name. Then what? I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name, then I ran out of that grave. Oh, out of the darkness into your glorious day. All right, church, I want to hear how loud you can get this next part. Think we can get a little rowdy here? Let's go, come on. I need a rescue, my sin was heavy. The chains break at the weight of your glory. I need a shelter, I was an orphan. Now you call me sinner, sinner, baby. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air I'm breathing. I have a future, miles are open. When you call my name, I ran out of that grave. Out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave. Oh, out of the darkness into your glorious day. Yeah. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave.
Oh, well, it's a good morning. Yes. Hey, Before you, actually, no, I already had you do that. Take a seat, watch this video.
I wanted a church where unchurched people could come to and enjoy it and be challenged with the invitation to discover who Jesus was. In terms of the details, I had no idea. That's where Mark Nelson came in.
We felt it was imperative to provide music and drama and video and whatever we would use that was on the par with what they were seeing in their week, whether it was on television or going to plays or listening to music at clubs. We wanted it to be something they could understand.
The unorthodox mailers went out to 15,000 area homes, including that of a Detroit Free Press worker. 2 weeks before Kensington's first service, this story showed up on the front page.
First service, I was scared to death. I was more nervous than any football game I ever played. We opened the door to look outside to see if anybody's coming. and I really thought, there'd probably be a car or two. And we opened the door and there's all these cars.
Good morning. I want to welcome you to Kensington Community Church.
I don't know what to comment on first there. That's unbelievable. I don't know if I should comment on Steve Andrews' hair first or the advertisements that Kensington did in the very beginning. I think I couldn't tell if it was for a church or for a hunting program or not, but I think the thing I would say, it's like, man, like God has had such amazing favor on the life of this church, and he used people in powerful ways to draw people who had no interest in church to come to church for the first time. And it's absolutely remarkable. And I would say I am just so humbled to be a part of it now. I don't know if I'll do advertisements like that. I'm hoping I keep my hair. We'll see what happens there. But I know that God has a great future for us. And that's what I wanted to share with you today quickly, is just an invitation. On April 17th, it's a Wednesday night, I'm calling the whole church to come together at our Troy campus. I want to see each and every one of you there. What we're calling it is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's so good for us to honor the past and honor the favor of God in the life of this church. We want to do that well. We want to honor the leaders of the church. We want to honor all of you who have been such a significant part of seeing the growth of Kensington Church and seeing people come to know Jesus. I believe God really loves when his people honor one another. But also we want to focus on today. There are great things happening right now as we move out in our communities, as we have these global partnerships, as we meet in 7 campuses across Michigan. Amazing things are happening. People are being baptized. People are coming to faith. People are growing deeper in their faith through Alpha, all kinds of stuff to celebrate and things to pray for as well. How can we be praying for what God is doing now? But then we're going to focus on tomorrow. I've been here about 8 months now, and I'm so excited about what God has been laying on my heart and our heart as a church. I said to you when I first got here, we're going to catch a vision together, and I believe that the Lord is laying that vision out for us right now. And I want the opportunity to be able to share with you what tomorrow looks like. And so come on out. I encourage you, if somebody's not here right now, go tell them about it. April 17th, where we can come together and focus on yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Are you in? All right, here we go. I'm excited about it, honestly, man. I think it's cool. Isn't that cool, by the way? Steve's here, so he looks a little different from the video, but he's here. I think it's going to be beautiful, man, just like celebrating what's been, what's happening, and what's going to happen. And so I just shared with a prayer circle, which was, man, one of the biggest prayer circles we've ever had out there. But we're just talking about saying you got to be there. It's one of those moments we need to just invite you and want you to feel invited in a huge way from all of us to be in the room at that moment. I think something special is going to happen in the room with all of us together as we're praying, celebrating, dreaming, coming together and watching what God has done and asking God, will you do it again, right? And so we're pumped about that. So do me a favor, register, be part of that. Some of you got kids, we have kid care there. So we want you to be a big part of that, okay? Sound good? Are you in? Come on. It's going to be great. So, hey, ladies, we got incredible things, not just for the whole church, but focusing on our ladies. After Mother's Day, we have an incredible women's retreat we run annually. Every year, women are just super impacted, make great connections, hear from the Lord, meet one another. And so we've got Becca Mowry, so that is Brian's wife, our senior pastor. She'll be there speaking. Joy Lee from Barn 45 is going to join us, and she'll be part of that too. And so we'd love for you to come out and check that out. We've also got Ignite 345. You got third, fourth, and fifth graders, or maybe you survived that section right there when they're older now. Middle school. Well, anyhow, we do an incredible thing for, third, fourth, and fifth graders. We'd love to invite them out. It's going to be at our Troy campus coming up. If you got a third, fourth, fifth grader, you got neighbors that do, invite them to this incredible thing. By the way, fellas, we started a softball team. Anybody know how to play softball? Interested in softball? Right? Anyone used to and you're afraid you're going to get hurt? Come out. The Lord's with us. We'll be okay. We can run you to the doctor, ER, if you get hurt. It's no big deal. You can check out of the hub anything going on in this place. You can go to our Facebook group. You can go to the hub afterwards, okay? A lot of good things happening. So, by the way, today we got baptisms happening in the house, man. So, I would just say, like TJ echoed it, man, if you're feeling the nudge or whatever, jump in there. In November, it's cold if you jump in and go home. It's 75 today, right? Got no excuse. So if you're feeling that nudge, you come up, man. Well, hey, do me a favor. Stand up and say hello. Shake somebody's hand. Say hi. Steve's going to come up, lead us today.
Wow, that was humiliating. Man, it is so fun. There is so much energy at this campus. You guys know this is such a cool place. My goodness. I love coming here. I have to beg Jeremiah to let me come, but here I am. And what a perfect Sunday to be here. We are, what's amazing is I was thinking back to that dream, that interview, and thinking back on knocking doors, knocking on thousands of doors and hoping people would come. And then just to be here today and to celebrate baptism, to see people of all ages, but young men and women that are going to be baptized and following Christ. And I thought, man, the dream is still cranking. It's just so amazing to be a part of that. And I thank God for that. And today, for me, being here is just a life reward. People I love, people who served with me for a long time, and now it's just, I love it. I would just say, I love following Jeremiah Roy. I love following Lindsay and Jeremiah and this team. They're doing a fantastic job. So it's really, really cool. So, I'm also thankful. I'd like for the ushers to get ready before we jump into today's vision. One of the ways we worship, one of the ways that we express our love is by sharing our resources. And I think financially, giving of our resources is a really big deal. It's been such an integral part of these years. When I look back on these years, the faithfulness of men and women, giving faithfully to God, giving weekly, monthly, and seeing God move in the world. I was telling somebody recently, I remember dancing in a remote part of Kenya 20 years ago. It was a place really untouched by the modern world. People weren't wearing clothes, and they were singing and dancing. We were singing and dancing. They were praying for God to bring them water and bring them Jesus. And I remember just weeping. We were dancing, and I was weeping because I thought, Lord, I don't know how we're going to be a part of that. And yet, that was 2003. Here, 21 years later, Kensington has given almost $20 million to that one vision among the Pocot. That was, and I'm telling you, what the part that I've given wouldn't even count it anywhere close to a percentage of that. It was like the faithfulness of people. I just spit. I told you guys, I'm coming over here. It's going to happen again right here. Those two It's called pre-baptism preparation. So, in light of that, I just want to thank you for your faithfulness and your joy in that. And so today, we're in the second part of looking at the Beatitudes, Jesus preaching the sermon here. We talked about the Sermon on the Mount, Sermon on the Plain. It's an area, both of these messages were probably given somewhere on the north side of Galilee, of the Lake of Galilee. It's, I think I've stood maybe where this message was given. And when Jesus gives this declaration of what it looks like to be one of his followers, he teaches his disciples, the crowd's listening in, and he's saying, what I'm going to describe to you and what I'm going to describe in the next few minutes is the kind of people I'm recruiting to help grow and expand my kingdom on earth. And today we're talking about those who hunger and thirst for God. Our verse today, Matthew 5:6, says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied." There's a couple of things that I discovered. Craig Mays was our lead on this, and this week I did kind of a deep dive into some of these thoughts. But this word thirst, when you look at it translated in the Greek, it means to suffer from thirst. Have you ever suffered from thirst? For some of you young people, I grew up playing high school football in Memphis, Tennessee. And in 2 days in Memphis, it was always 90 to 100 degrees with about 90% humidity. And we would practice in the afternoon. It'd be our third practice of the day. We'd do an early morning where the dew was still on the ground. We'd do a midday special teams, and then we'd practice in the mid-afternoon. And our coaches thought it was fun to never give anybody any water. And about midway in that practice, in that weather, we had been about an hour and a half into the practice. Right before we did hitting drills, and then we'd run sprints at the end. They would come out with ice pitchers of water loaded with dozens of salt pellets. And they'd have us kneel down, and they would literally pour salt water into our mouths. And for about 3 seconds, you'd feel this incredible refreshment, and then your mouth would go, and then we'd have to go hitting drills. And then we'd have to run sprints, and we would run sprints where we'd run 10 yards, jog back. If you ran through it, you wouldn't have to run it again. If you didn't, you'd run 10 yards again. You'd do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. And I always puked between the 80 and the 90. Seriously. Because you were so completely parched. And so what I'm talking about today, I'm talking about this kind of thirst where it's all you can think about. Psalm 63:1 is one of my life verses. I don't have it on the screen, but you can look it up. Psalm 63, verse 1 says, "You, God, are my God, and earnestly I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole being longs for you in a dry and parched land where there's no water." Now listen, every one of you knows what it's like to be parched for water. In fact, as I'm talking about this, how many of us all of a sudden realized we were thirsty? I did. Someone bring me a water. But it's this longing. The Bible uses this metaphor of thirst and hunger for God. And speaking through the prophet of Isaiah, God gives this amazing invitation. Again, we're just sharing some of my favorite life verses. Isaiah 55 in the Old Testament, long before Jesus comes, the prophet is speaking for God, and God says to all of us, "Come, all you who are thirsty, come to the waters, and you have no money. Come and buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without cost." Now think about that. Come buy, and what do you have in your pocket? Nothing. You don't have anything. God just says, come and buy it. Buy it how? Out of my grace and out of my love. And I'll give you what you're longing for and what you're thirsting for. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without cost. And he says, why do you spend your money on what is not bread and your labor on what does not satisfy? Now, I want to camp on this for just a second, because this is where I'm thinking back to some of you young people being baptized today. You're saying today, as you get ready, and I hope some of you are going to come out of the gang, just out of the auditorium, out of your seats today to be baptized, to say, I want to declare that I am looking to Jesus to satisfy my life. Because we all look in a million different things. This Hebrew word, satisfy, is the Hebrew word sabah. It means to reach the point where you're filled up, where you have enough, where you're at peace, you can rest, you can put aside anxiety. This word satisfaction is what everybody wants. Mick Jagger was right. All these young people going, who the heck is Mick Jagger? The answer is you don't want to know. That'll be sure they go look him up. But right, I try. He says, I can't get no satisfaction. I try, and I try, and I try, and I try, and I can't get it. I thought, that's what we do. We look for things to satisfy that can't. I remember the first time I tried this. I was in second grade. My mom and dad taught a Friday night Bible study in our home, and there were about 100 people that would jam into our home. They'd be seated all over the house. My dad was a great Bible teacher. So was my mom. But Dad would teach on that Friday night, and Mom always, she'd bring out the food. Well, I remember this one time, she bought Clink Brothers ice cream in Memphis. Is a big deal. That's where every area of the world has their ice cream. We had Clink Brothers ice cream, and we loved the ice cream sandwiches. And Mom had these cartons where there were 24 in a carton, and we had a freezer in the back, and there were like 4 cartons left. And the next morning was Saturday morning, and I would watch cartoons, and I was the youngest, so they didn't even pay attention to me. They didn't even know I was in the house. And I kept slinking around to the pantry to get ice cream sandwiches. And then I'd fold them up, kind of take that wax, little foil, and wrap it up and put it in the bottom of the garbage can. And by noon, I'd eaten about 18 ice cream sandwiches. I was committed to seeing if there was satisfaction in life from ice cream sandwiches. And I thought, I've done that over and over again in my life, so have you. My senior year in college, I didn't need, we were at Wheaton College, we were on a quarter system. And wintertime was always when we duck hunted in the Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas area. And I took the winter quarter off. So I had January, February, and the middle of March off. And I hunted ducks every day. I know this sounds odd. I said, man, you are weird. It just confirms it. I'm like, I always wanted I didn't have any responsibilities. My parents, I went to Beaver Dam where we hunted ducks, and then I did a couple of trips. And I hunted 55 days that winter. Poor ducks. And I apologize, but I had a great time. And most of the time I was just with our family's yellow Labrador, Dinah. And we had such an amazing time. But at the end of that quarter, I was going back for my last quarter, my senior year in college. You know what I realized? You know what 55 days of hunting made me want? Another 55 days. Right? If you're looking for satisfaction, you ever won a championship? You ever seen anybody win a championship? You watch Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, they win a championship. You know what winning your 3rd Super Bowl makes you want? A 4th Super Bowl. I'm a big Golden State Warriors basketball fan, and I just was so hoping they could win a 5th, with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and who's insane. I love him. Klay Thompson, you know what? They're not going to do it. They're still great, but their windows over. They're never going to experience that satisfaction. You've done it for Thanksgiving dinner. How many of you have sought satisfaction on Thanksgiving Day dinner? Either through a Lions victory. Well, let's talk about the meal. Because it's that satisfaction. And what God is saying, if you hunger and thirst, there's only one place you're going to find it. That one of the greatest theologians in history was a man named Augustine. He was a bishop of the church in the 4th and 5th centuries. But he grew up as a wild man. He was promiscuous with, he had children from prostitutes. He didn't care about anything but pursuing pleasure. And there was eventually a place where God gave him enough rope that he reached the end of this rope and he realized that none of this had satisfied his heart. And I thought that's what people are still doing. People are still running. They're thinking, no, I'm going to find that satisfaction. I just want to tell you something. Run on. Because at some point you're going to see it doesn't satisfy. Some of you are preparing for retirement. You know how much money you want for retirement? It's more than what you have. Isn't it? Because you can't get enough of the things that will not fill your soul. And here's what Augustine said. This is famous, by the way. You'll take a picture of this. He said, God, you've made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. You guys are getting baptized today. You know what you're saying? Part of what you're hoping for is that there's going to be a rest and a peace and an ending of anxiety and of understanding who your identity is by letting Jesus Christ fill your life. And I just want to say, you can achieve a million things. It's not enough. I remember Dave Wilson talking about looking out in the old video and hoping somebody was going to come. I can't remember now, I think we had 400 something come that day. That included a couple stray cats, and there was a sparrow that flew into the lobby. We counted sparrow as well. But we were just so excited. And you know what? I went home. I actually went home that first Sunday. Went home. Our kids were little and putting the kids to bed. And I was thinking, man, if we could just get to 500. And then it was just, if we just get to 800. Okay, man, I'll be able to relax if we just get to 1,000 people. You know, and people were coming and loving it. It was so fun. And you've done this in your business. Everybody's done this. And then it was 2,000. Then it was 4,000. Then it was 6,000. Then it was 10,000. And I realized that somewhere along the line, it doesn't matter. That's not going to satisfy. The only thing that's going to satisfy is Jesus Christ in my life by the presence of his Holy Spirit. That's going to satisfy. Because you know what? That's cool. And there's actually a verse. There's actually a verse that confirms this. This, again, is in the Old Testament. The prophet Jeremiah. He was known as the weeping prophet because Israel was in a total mess when he was the prophet. And so a lot of it is really sad. But this is where he identifies the two mistakes people make. You ready for this? He says, my people, this is God speaking through Jeremiah, my people have committed two sins, two errors. Number one, they have forsaken me, the spring of living water. Like, they have forsaken the one place, the one person they could have gone to for satisfaction and for fulfillment, but they've forsaken me. But they made another error. The second error is they dug their own cisterns, broken wells that cannot hold water. Now, cisterns or wells are all over the place. It's a huge part of Kensington's ministry among the Pocot. I think we've invested. I think we've saved hundreds of thousands of people's lives in Northwest Kenya. That's just one thing that we've got to do with our life. And hopefully we'll continue to do that. We'll find out what Brian shares. And I'm hoping, guys, that a lot of you will make the effort. I know Troy is a distant country. Troy campus. I mean, it might take you 20 minutes to get there. But I'm just asking you to make the sacrifice. Come and enjoy that evening. It's going to be fun. It's going to be worship. Oh, by the way, I'm being ADHD right now. When TJ sings, I'm like, at Clarkson, we've got our own Chris Stapleton. Do you ever think about that? I tell you what, I love that the team was so incredible today, but I'm like, dude, Chris Stapleton, he could fill in for him. Just grow that beard out a little bit. But in this broken cistern, this is what I want you to see. This word broken is the Hebrew word shabar. And it means to break into pieces. It's not like there's just a little leak at the bottom, because that's how you think about it. It's like you try to dig your own wells, you know what they are? You might as well take a hammer to a piece of pottery. Smash it. That's the kind of wells you build if God's not in your life. You know, the theologians, right, at funerals, they used to say, into this world we came with nothing, right? We came naked. And we will leave this world in the same way, naked and with nothing. At the moment of your death, what is your net worth? Zero. You're like, man, I wish I could be Elon Musk. I wish I had, I wish I could be a billionaire, I wish I could be Steph Curry. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's maybe too late. Okay, that wasn't even funny. Okay, you guys don't care about basketball. I love Steph Curry, by the way. I love his faith. He's a man of God. He's an incredible, anyway, forget that. But to envy anyone is foolish, because all of our lives take the same ultimate journey. And I'm begging you today, and as I'm talking to young people here today, I think Jesus Christ is the one person who will never let you down, even in the hurt and the pain of your life. And he will provide nutrition for our souls. It's interesting, this word cistern, so broken means to break in pieces. The word cistern in Hebrew is bore, B-O-R-E, bore. And it's funny, that made it into the English language. When I talked to Ruben Mariacall or Julius Murgor and Kenya, we're talking about the next places, and Jay Lucarelli's talking with them about the next places to dig wells. He says, where are we going to dig another borehole? Right, the borehole is in all these places, man, we're going through solid rock to get to water and hopefully find a place of lasting water that can service 1,000 to 3,000 people in a community where they can live and have water. To find the strength, but ultimately, real water that we drink, is just it's an image of the living water that we long for. When our folks are baptized today, you're simply saying, I believe Jesus is the living water. Jesus said, anyone who drinks from me will never thirst again. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to struggle. Doesn't mean you're not going to be lost. Doesn't mean that all anxiety will be gone. But it means that Jesus' presence will be with you, and he will meet you at the place of your deepest need. It's so cool. There's so many convergences today for me for this baptism, because when I was 16 years old, I really said to Jesus, I want you to be the Lord of my life. I want to see if I can bring, I know I'm not going to do it all the time, but I want to bring, everything under the lordship of Christ. My athletics, my relationship with girls, the way I conducted friendships, avoiding gossip that was so prevalent, when you're teenagers, it's like the world of teenagers. When we were teenagers, we built it around gossip, talking about people, instead of honoring people and building people up. It was so easy to do. But I remember I claimed this verse, was the first or second verse that I claimed for my life, Matthew 6:33. I actually memorized the whole chapter when I was 16. I was inspired by Francis of Assisi and his determination as a young man to follow Christ. It's an incredible story if you ever get to read a story of his life. When I was 16, I claimed this verse. It says, seek first his kingdom, and all these things will be given to you as well. And I actually dare you to do this. I think you should I would encourage you, whether you're 88 or 18 or 8 today, go home and make a list of all the things that you want. List them, write them out. Put your bucket list out. And then read Matthew 6:33. And nothing wrong with having a list. There's nothing wrong with all these things. Now, some of them could be bad, but the desire to say of wanting security or wanting a job, wanting a relationship, wanting to be married, wanting children. I have a million things I want, but Jesus is saying it has to begin first with me, or you'll never be satisfied. He says, seek first the kingdom of God. This kingdom, the Greek word is awesome. It's basileia. It's the dominion of God as king and ruler over our lives. It's saying, God, I want you to be the king and the ruler over my life. I want to walk into Clarkson High School on tomorrow morning, and I want you, Jesus, to be the king of my life tomorrow in that place. I don't care what's happening at Clarkson High School. Even if even if it's one light. And some of you young kids are looking at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I do. I went to Central High School. We were the first high school integrated in Memphis, Tennessee. I was the hall monitor on the smoking patio. And I was there for 2 years. I don't ever remember a teacher coming down there. Like they had left us loose. You know, the inmates, we were all loose in the asylum. And like I was the last guard. All the drug transactions were in the bathroom next to the smoking patio. Fights every day. But I want to tell you, I look back on that, Jesus Christ was real to me. I had plenty of failures. I actually just written a book about my childhood because I wanted to recount it from my nieces and nephews and my great nieces and nephews, my children, my grandchildren, because I found that seeking first His kingdom and His righteousness, that all the things that really matter will be added to your life. Doesn't mean you're going to have, great wealth or hair for a lifetime. I would have had hair for a lifetime, but having 3 teenage daughters at once, it was more than my hormonal system could handle. Seek first His kingdom and then His righteousness. This is where I want to finish today as we get ready for baptism. Dikaiosune, the position of the longing for righteousness. It's the position where you want the conditions where you would be acceptable to God, to be acceptable to the King, to have His integrity, His virtue, His purity of life, His correctness of thinking, and includes the desire to be made right before God. So this baptism today, it's just so fun. If this was the only thing that ever happened in 34 years at Kensington, this one baptism today would have been certainly worth my life. Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Seek His justice. This word righteousness has a strong implication of justice, to seek to be like Jesus Christ, and about justice. On the human plane, to stand up for what is right and just, to love your neighbor, to stand up for the oppressed, to consider the marginalized, to be a voice for the voiceless. These are also part of what the righteousness of Jesus looks like. When you read the Gospels, every time you see Jesus seeing people, Jesus is seeing people that nobody else is seeing. They're looking past those people. Jesus sees them. He looks right into their lives. One of the wonderful things about being a follower of Christ and His Spirit is working in us, all of a sudden, we start to see people. We start to see people like they really are. See into the value and the beauty and the uniqueness of every person. You've never met a normal person. There's no such thing. As we think about this vision of justice in James 1, where it says religion or worship, really it's a better definition of this. Worship that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. You know what to be polluted means? It means to embrace debasement or deformity. It means to embrace a deformity of character or to debase your life. It says don't do that. It's nowhere. Seek Jesus. Let Jesus' beauty take over your life. Secondly, looking after orphans and widows. This word to look after, this is great. One more great Greek word. You guys ready? Everybody's going to remember this. Episkeptomai. If you can spell that for me, I'll give you $50 after the service. It means to examine with your own eyes. And this hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought all through the years at Kensington, every year hundreds of people go around the world. Every week and every month, hundreds of Kensington people serve and move out ministries. Clarkson's got some great move out teams. And you know what we're doing? We're episkeptomying. We're seeing things with our own eyes, right? We're seeing what Jesus sees. We're caring about what Jesus sees. And so part of it is because we believe that Jesus sees us. Why do we go to Kenya and Nepal and India and Brazil? I just got back from Brazil, got to train 200 church planters and leaders. They'll probably never be the same, but we had a great time. That was supposed to be funny. No, it was inappropriate. But what he's saying is thirst has two parts. It's us asking Jesus to increase our thirst and desperation for him, and then ask God to give us a thirst to see the longing and the needs of other people, to see him, to experience his fulfillment, and then to see others as he sees them. Because the kingdom belongs to those who seek Jesus first of all. To let go of broken wells that are shattered, that can't hold the water. Turn away from the false idols of pleasure, riches, and success and fame, the things we substitute for God in our search for satisfaction. I'd love for some of you today, here, people watching on stream, is that God would break the restlessness in your heart with peace and well-being, that Jesus in your life. That's why Paul could say, whether I live or whether I die, Christ would be glorified in my life. That's finding the answer to your thirst. And so, as we finish this time, we're going to lead up to baptisms. We're going to sing a song that I love, Run to the Father. And I want to just think a couple of lyrics before we sing it and experience it. The person writing this song saying to God, I hear your invitation. Such a great moment for baptism. To let it all go. I'm laying it all down. I'm done with the hiding. Dave, you and I were talking about that earlier. Done with the hiding. No reason to wait. My soul needs a friend. My heart needs a surgeon. And so I'll run to the Father again and again. And as we prepare for that, I just want to remind you, Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. So there's a crossroads moment here, particularly for young people, old people too. You go, you know what? I'm still going to look to have my thirst satisfied by my popularity or my appearance or my achievements. Or I'm going to choose to find it in the living, resurrected Jesus Christ, who has been there all along. Run to the Father. Run to this baptismal. Jesus is the answer to the thirst of your heart. Lord, thank you for this time. Lead us and guide us. Thank you for these precious lives that are going to be baptized today. They're going to bear witness that you, Jesus, are alive in their lives. We're so grateful for this incredible community to share together. In Jesus' name, amen. All right.
Would you stand with us? I've carried a burden for too long on my own. I wasn't created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. I see it now, I'm laying it down, and I know that I need you. I run to the Father, fall into grace, I'm done with. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend, so I run. You saw my condition, had a plan from the start. Your Son for redemption, the price is for mine. And I don't have a context for that kind of love. I don't understand, can't comprehend. All I know is I need you. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. I run to the Father, fall into grace. Done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, again and again. Oh, has been in your sights long before my first breath, running into your arms is running to life from death. And I feel this rush deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out. Just as I am, you pull me in, and I know I need you now. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. Done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart found a surgeon, my soul found a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, again and again. Oh, again and again. Again and again.
And here we go. So this is the opportunity, man. I just want to say this up front, and we're going to celebrate incredible people taking steps of faith to get baptized. Give them a big hand. And if you feel that nudge, if you feel that, you get up and you come up, okay, and you jump in. I just want to encourage you. We're here with you. We celebrate with you. And that's how faith works. At some point, you got to get up and take a step of what? Faith, okay? So here we go. So Jared, man, I love you guys. First guys, come up.
I'm waiting my whole life for this, and finally it's my decision to get baptized. I feel like God's speaking to me to this because I've grown stronger to Him and His faithfulness, but most of all, I want to dedicate this to Him.
I'm Sawyer. I want to get baptized because I've grown closer to God and I feel like I'm ready to dedicate my life to Him. I've always wanted to do, so I feel like it's the right time to do.
Hi, my name is Karen, and there's no greater honor than to be baptized. And I'm going to do it today with my grandsons. I was baptized as a baby, confirmed when I was 12, but I'd like to rededicate my life to Christ and to be baptized like Jesus was.
Ready to give my life publicly to Christ. I want to give my life to Christ.
My name is Ella McNamee. I am 10 years old. Upon accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, I am excited to share this wonderful day with you of being baptized. Have a blessed day.
Rebecca Harris Day, and I am here with all my wonderful family. I'm very excited to turn around and go in the right direction and hopefully make the world a better place.
I was truly broken without Jesus, and I'm ready to pick up my cross every day and just fully commit my life to Him.
Baptized today because I want to dedicate my whole life and my whole heart to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
My name is Jaden, and I want to be baptized today because I want to see God to satisfy my life.
I'm going to talk a little bit longer, and for those who know me, you won't be surprised by that. My name is Carrie, and when my mom was alive, I would call her on my ride home from work every single day, no fail. And in my 30s, I started to tell her about how I thought something was wrong with me because I just was not at peace. I was married, I had 3 beautiful children, a beautiful home, and a great job that I loved, and I still knew that something wasn't right. I knew it had to do with church. I just couldn't place it. I couldn't figure it out on my own. Shocker. And then these Kensington signs started showing up. If you were here from the beginning, you know it said, like, are you looking for a sign? And I saw it at a friend's house, and then I saw it at the grocery store, and I saw them everywhere, and I came here. And I learned about having a personal relationship with Jesus and about getting my identity from Him and Him alone. And it filled in all the gaps. I don't know what took me so long to get up here, but this is why I'm here, to share that with you, that it's not too late.
Robert Madsen, and I've been wanting to do this for over 25 years, and I've been procrastinating on doing it for like the last 5 or 6, so I'm finally here.
And I'm being baptized today to show my faith in Jesus. for my mom and Jesus.
Watch yourself.
Hi, my name is Megan. I've been going to Kensington on and off since high school. I've always wanted to do this, and that's my goddaughter who just went. And we didn't plan this, and now we're here. So I'm doing it. So yeah.
Is this where I sing or no? No. Hey, this is where I invite, there's no chords, so we're safe. If you feel a nudge at all, as we're singing this last song, right, TJ, and you guys are leading us, you can jump up here, okay? The water ain't too cold, it ain't too late, right? You're not too far gone, nothing like that at all, man. Taking a step of faith is just like that. It's a blind moment, stepping in toward what Jesus is inviting you to. So I just want to encourage you, if you feel that, we're here, okay? We love you. TJ, take it away, man.
I was buried beneath my shame, and who could carry that kind of weight? It was my turn till I met you. And I was breathing but not alive, and all my failures I tried to hide. It was my tomb till I met you. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave. To your glorious day, you called my name. I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, to your glorious day.
And why, do you know why you're doing this?
Because I love Jesus.
When you called my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name, I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, to your glorious day. I need a rescue. My sin was heavy. The chains break at the weight of your load. I needed shelter. I was an orphan. Now you call me a sinner, sinner, heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Now your love is the air I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open. You call my name. I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, to your glorious day. You called my name. I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, to your glorious day.
You want me to do an encore singing more? Yeah. Oh, man. Hey, what a beautiful day. Isn't this cool? Let's celebrate this again. Wow, man. How so proud of people taking steps of faith. What a beautiful community. Thank you, Steve, for being here, man. I am excited. I'm really convinced all my heart the best is yet to come. You believe that? It's coming, man. Jesus is on his work. So we love you. God bless you, Kensington Clarkson. We can be of any help or hope to you, man. You calling us, we're here for you. God bless you. Have an incredible day.